The state is turning the dial again with COVID-19. State health officials say many businesses can loosen their restrictions next week. Starting Wednesday, June 10th, restaurants can start seating people indoors at 50% capacity. Salons, places of worship, and pools can operate at half capacity. Theaters and gyms can open as well, but at 25%. Indoor gatherings should still be limited to 10, but outdoor get-togethers can now be at 25, all with social distancing and masks.
We are still in a pandemic situation, that these further reopenings will increase the risk of spread, but we believe we've got the tools in place and the measures in place to carefully watch to make sure that we are in fact able to manage whatever degree of increased transmission these moves may contribute to.
The news of reopening comes as the state reported more than 700 new positive cases Friday, bringing the total to nearly 27,000. More than 1,100 have died. This morning, we're joined by Assistant Commissioner at the Minnesota Department of Health, Dan Huff. Thank you for being with us here this morning, Dan.
Good morning, Jennifer.
We're hearing the word plateau when it comes to the coronavirus cases in the state. Can you explain what that means?
Yes. So when we look at our curve, we talk about whether we're going up at a nice incline or if we're going up exponentially. And what we are right now is we have leveled off. That's a good sign. However, we just don't know what's coming next. Are we going to start to go down or are we going to start to go up again? We are watching carefully to make sure that we don't continue to rise and especially rise exponentially.
Yeah, so let's talk about the recent protests, marches, people who have visited the memorial for George Floyd. Does the health department expect to see an increase due to so many people being around each other? I've been out there. Some people had masks on, some people don't, Dan.
Right. First of all, racism is real. Institutional racism is real in this country, and we all have a responsibility to help fight that. We are concerned about when we have a lot of people come together in close proximity, especially when they're not wearing masks. It's too early to tell whether we will have a rise in cases. We will know in between 1 to 3 weeks from now. We are watching that. We ask that everyone who is involved, either as a volunteer, doing cleanup, as a protester, as a first responder, about a week after you involved, please go get tested. We've asked every healthcare facility to test you if you are involved in the last week's events.
Okay, so about a week after the potential exposure, a week after people were out near large crowds is when they should get tested. Is that the guidance that you're giving people now? Yes. Okay, great. Also, if people plan to visit one of the places that are reopening starting June 10th, a gym, eating inside a restaurant, what safety measures should they take?
Well, first, we're very happy that our businesses are reopening. So go out there and support our local businesses, but do so safely. I personally would not visit a business unless everyone was wearing a mask. This is an airborne transmission disease. It comes out of the mouth and nose of an infected person, and then another person breathes it in. So unless people are wearing masks, I would not visit. But please go out, find those safe places. When you go, keep 6 feet distance. That will help protect you.
So even though some of these businesses are reopening, all the guidance is still in place. Wear masks, keep your distance. What kind of precautions are these places taking? What is the guidance for them to take as they reopen in this next couple days?
Every business is required to develop a plan, to write a plan about how they protect their employees and how they protect their customers. That includes masking, it includes social distancing, it includes sanitation practices, cleaning, hand washing, etc., as well as screening employees so that we don't have ill employees coming to work.
Sure, and we're just turning the dial just another notch here coming up on Wednesday, but so many people are already asking what will it take for businesses to be able to reopen at full capacity. When do we get to that point?
Well, I hope we'll get there soon, but I'm afraid we may be in for a long haul. We talked about that plateau or leveling off of where we are right now. We're keeping close tabs on the data to see how the spread continues in Minnesota. If we begin to see a drop in cases and spread lessen, then we hope to open up even more. If we have a precipitous increase in cases, we may actually have to roll back, and I hope we don't have to do that.
All right, Dan Huff, Assistant Commissioner with the Minnesota Department of Health, thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you, and be well.